The first trimester is a lot. That's why with this fifth time going around, I wrote out everything that I was using and trying. I broke it down into categories, things like hydration, how I handled headaches and insomnia, stomach issues, gut issues. We're going to get into all of that here today. So cuddle up, scooch in, and see if any of these tactics or products would maybe benefit you or help you feel your best through this first third of your pregnancy. First one I'm going to talk about is hydration. Is probably the most important. You can see when I was setting up, I realized there was 3 water bottles on my nightstand back here, and I left those on purpose as like proof, like hydration is everything. However, having water alone, well, that's fine. It's nice to amp it up a little bit with some trace minerals and electrolytes. That way your body holds on to the hydration and doesn't just expel it all out. I found really great success with buoy drops. I've been using these for close to 6 months now. I started them right before I got pregnant. And these have the trace minerals and different electrolytes in it. It's an unflavored clear dropper that you put into any sort of beverage. I just put it in regular water, but if you're having a lemonade, maybe some red raspberry leaf tea, or even a Coca-Cola, do a quick spritz in there, and then it helps your body just be a little bit more supported. You'll see that's going to be a common theme with a lot of what I'm talking about isn't just quick fixes or fix-alls, but more so like supporting your body so it can process and do what it needs to do the right way. Something that kind of goes hand in hand, at least for me, is migraines and headaches. I've been getting more vestibular headaches this time around, which is kind of a new thing for me. So I invested in one of these jelly type helmets off of Amazon, gel pads on the back and the front. You see there's like a little nose cut out, but I don't even pull it down all the way most of the time. Oh, and it squeezes your head just enough to give you that little bit of compression, that little bit of a hug. I've put this in the freezer before. That was too much for me. I like it and prefer it in the fridge, and I keep it in the bag that it came in. It's chilly. It feels so good. The next one is a huge one for me, and probably my biggest struggle throughout all the pregnancy, but it's mostly those first 12 to 14-ish weeks where it's really bad. Upset stomach, nausea, and digestion issues. So there's a lot in this category that I want to go through and touch on. One is going to be nausea. When you start to get that little bit of a queasiness, unsettledness in the stomach, maybe it's because you ate something, maybe you haven't eaten yet. It's just that really uncomfortable. Ginger chews. I will open the package and only like bite off half of it because it tends to be a little bit too spicy for me, and I only can like handle half of it at a time, and that I found that helped. If it continued and I still felt that weird unsettled queasiness in my stomach, I would have the other half. But it helps you kind of stretch out a bag. Not that they're expensive. I think they're only a couple bucks. I got this one actually at Trader Joe's because I had forgot to put Tums in my purse, which I brought my purse to show you what all I keep in here for on the go type of things. Okay, eye drops, because I found that my eyes get so dry. I'm going to sidebar here for a second from the stomach issues, but also wrap it all together. Okay, Tums, they have these little travel bottles. Get yourself one of these little bottles, keep it in your bag. You're going to have an upset stomach at some point. I think most people do in the first trimester, so this is not a weird, strange thing. But I hadn't refilled my Tums bag, and we were out and about, so I stopped at Trader Joe's, got these. They work so well. This is for when I like eat something and it upsets my stomach. I found that Tums work a little bit better, but the queasiness for like no reason, these are amazing. Hopefully that I was able to wrap that together and make it make sense. Another thing, especially if I'm in the car or like moving around a lot, like walking around a lot, these bands, these C bands are amazing. I actually got these, I think with Amelia or Elaine. I've had these a while. 2 or 3 inches back on your wrist, kind of scooch it on. There's, I don't remember all the details. I think there's a nerve in here. It's like an acupuncture pressure type of deal. So you have them on both wrists. These came in so handy. Let's say I eat something and it's more heartburn type of feeling, or I feel like the Tums aren't helping settle the stomach. This exact tea from Bigelow, it's amazing. I have gone through so many boxes, so many boxes. Tried other lemon ginger teas. Nothing gives me that same like effectiveness as this one. So I don't know what magicalness these guys are doing differently. I don't care at this point. It works. I will keep this in my pantry. I keep this stocked. Another thing to support my gut health and that whole stomach bloating, uncomfortability, IBS flare ups, all I get hit by all of it in the first trimester. Needed. These pre and probiotics, amazing. I actually have only been taking one a day. It's recommended to take two, and I'm still seeing the benefits of it. My experience, I'm okay with that. I will probably amp it up to two a day towards the end of the pregnancy when things are a little more taxing on my body, or even more so. But these are really, really great. They don't give me any sort of additional upset stomach, indigestion, or anything like that. But I have been out of it the last few days. I have my shipment coming in, I think tomorrow, my replenishment for the month. I messed up and I didn't order in time, and I've noticed a difference. So I cannot wait to get those back in my little medicine rotation. The thing I don't have here in front of me is the Rao's chicken noodle soup. But I have gone through so many bottles of that soup. Ridiculous. The chicken can be a little dry, so if I'm feeling a little more gag refluxy, I tend to get the Italian wedding meatball soup. It's just as brothy, but it's a little bit different. So those are two options for when you know you need to eat. Nothing sounds good, or the idea of actually eating sounds worse than not eating, but you know you need to eat. Also, to go along with the whole gut issues and supporting your body, get a squatty potty. They make really cute wooden ones. I have one in every bathroom in the house because I see the benefit of it for myself, but also I wanted to like share that with the kids and my husband. It makes the process so much easier, especially because I deal with a lot, like I said, a lot of flare-ups. If I'm understanding correctly, it helps take the pressure off your pelvic floor and put you in the right position to have things flowing, which they were not always flowing, especially when you start to get constipated because you're taking your iron. Yeah, hydration, probiotics, squatty potty. Okay, let's take a little bit of a pivot and go towards the nasal congestion and just general stuffiness and sinus issues. Lots of swelling, lots of post-nasal drip. I keep a humidifier next to my nightstand. That has been amazing. That has helped, especially at night. But if I'm out and about and moving around the house throughout the day, I kind of need something to help keep it more moist up in there. And I have found that these have really helped. So I keep the air, actually this is an empty, I keep a full sized of this in my purse for on the go, because I realized when I was in the car and the AC was blasting on me, it was like drying me out, and then it would start getting my anxiety going. Let's just cancel all of that out and just give ourselves the support we need. A little saline spray, it's great. But if I'm home, I really like this Zarbee's one. I think it's like for kids, but hey, it says all ages up here, okay? The spray on this is so fine. I love it. I love this over other versions, varieties, store brands. I mean, get what you can, but if you can get the Zarbee's one, there's something about this nozzle design that makes it a lot more pleasurable. It doesn't feel like you're just shooting up a whole geyser of saline rinse up your nose, you know? Saline nasal gel. It's like an aloe saline solution. So I just use my pinky and put some just on this outside area of my nose, and it feels like my nose is drinking a glass of water. It sounds so weird, but it keeps everything just hydrated. It makes it a lot more comfortable when it comes to sinusness. Let's talk about just cramps and aches and uncomfortabilities. There's really not too much in the beginning, but it's still there. And I like to use this pillow right here. I actually have it around me now. This is from Boppy. This is so old. This is crusty dusty. This is like 3 babies in. There's a big hole in it, so don't judge me, okay? But it is amazing. This double-ended pillow, I'll bring it down on the couch with me. even in the beginning when you don't really have a belly because of baby, but you have a belly because it's so uncomfortable and bloated and just having stomach issues, it feels good to like have the pressure in the front like this. And now that I do have more of a belly, to have it kind of around me at night so that if I'm on my side, my tummy feels supported. Kind of keeps me on my side. Like this style of like pregnancy pillow. I've tried the big U one. It's downstairs in a closet. Nobody's even touching it. Heating pad. I don't know that there's a specific one that's better than another. Heating pad. It's going to feel so good on your like achy sore muscles, especially as you start having more like round ligament pain. I'll have it on like a dull low to medium setting just to feel that warmth and comfort and like coziness to help me like, I don't know, it helps me soothe and like relax and get into a sleep mode because insomnia is going to start hitting whether you want it to or not. Hormones are a delightful thing at this point, and you'll just be laying there and be like, why am I still awake? A couple things that I've been doing. One is spraying some magnesium oil on the bottom of my feet. Again, this might be something you need to talk to your doctor about. I don't know how comfortable you are. I'm okay with it. I'll do 2 sprays per feet, rub it in, lay down, and start getting ready to go to bed. And I feel like I get a more restful sleep on the nights that I use this, especially if I do it like more than 3 nights consecutively. If I miss it, it's fine. But if I miss it for a long span, I notice. I definitely notice a difference. It was a gift from my husband, which I thought was so sweet because he noticed, well, he would roll over and I would still be awake. And he's like, what are you doing? You need to sleep. I'm like, I'm trying. I'm trying. So he got me this Therabody eye mask massager. This is definitely a bit more of a splurge. Link it up to your phone and you could choose different settings, but you put it on. I like to pick the sleep setting. That's the one I use the most. I think it runs for like 15 minutes. And there's these little balls that like massage your temples. I'm telling you, I don't even make it through the 15-minute setting before I pass out. And then I'll usually like kind of toss and turn later on in the night and I'll feel this on and I'll take it off. You can also change the intensity of the massage or just do a vibration. So many different ways to customize this. But they're called the Smart Goggles from Therabody, and I highly recommend this if you're noticing that you're having troubles getting to sleep. It's maybe the sensory deprivation mixed with the massage and the warmth. There's something with me with warmth. I don't like feeling hot, but the warmth feels so cozy and relaxing at the same time. Another one is acne. I know I deal with a lot of flare-ups and hormonal acne at the beginning of my pregnancy. I am an esthetician. This is something I am well versed in, and yet anytime I'm pregnant, I cannot figure out how to get it to calm down or like avoid it altogether. I feel like I should be able to, but there's something about pregnancy or maybe just my body makeup that is unavoidable to some point. I work on keeping my skin hydrated, light exfoliation with things like a mandelic acid, or if I'm feeling up to it, like an alpha hydroxy acid, if it can handle it. Really generally kind of scaling back, obviously cutting out things like retinoids. Any tools or gadgets that you use electricity, like your new face, push it to the back of the cabinet. You can't use your new face right now, which is such a bummer that you can't use microcurrent while you're pregnant, but it's for the safety of the baby. It's a 9-month period. We'll be fine, right? But something I can do, and I have noticed a difference, especially if I use this at night, and it does help me wind down. Keep this directly right next to my water bottle on my nightstand. Face mask with red LED and infrared light. So it has these little light nodes in here. It's a 10-minute cycle. It helps promote healing and different rejuvenation of your skin cells. That's why a lot of people use red LED light and infrared technology on injuries. I know a lot of people have like those square ones and they put it on their C-section scars because it's just so good to help rebuild. And if you're dealing with like hormonal acne flare-ups, those ones freaking hurt. They're really deep. They take a long time to clear up. And then you typically have like a post-inflammatory mark afterwards. And I just feel like this gives that extra boost and essentially heal and calm down the inflammation. So It's not an end all be all fix all, but I do notice a difference, especially if I use it for like a week consecutively. But definitely by the end of the week, I'm like, I used my mask this week, didn't I? Yeah, I did. It looks and feels a lot better because I get those really big ones that freaking hurt. Last category I want to talk about is just overall mental health, well being, and supporting the body. This time around, I'm taking that a lot more serious than I did the last two pregnancies, which were back to back. And that second one was so extremely hard. And I'm glad that that wasn't my last pregnancy because it kind of left a little bitter taste in my mouth where I was like, man, that was really difficult. Even the labor, like everything about that labor and birth and pregnancy process was like a little bit more difficult than all the other three. I wanted to give myself the best support possible, so I picked up a really great prenatal and I started this pretty early. I was taking a regular prenatal just from my doctor, and I read the label and it just wasn't, I didn't realize that it didn't have a lot of the things that I was looking for. I was looking for calcium and choline and different things that I felt that were important to me. So definitely do your own research and see what you feel comfortable with. But this even had things like the ginger extract, because again, I was dealing with so many, lots of gut issues, even to the point where I went to the hospital one night because I thought my gallbladder was about to explode. It's been a process, right? Milk thistle extract, to my understanding, is really great for liver health. And again, I was having kind of like inflammation of the liver, the kidney, and the gallbladder. Lovely, having so much fun. This is my third bottle. There's one that I'm finishing up downstairs, and then my new one's coming in a couple days when I have my supplement replenishment arriving. Going into my third bottle with this, I have absolutely noticed a difference. It's a lot though. You have to take 8 capsules a day over 2 to 3 times a day. So you take like 4 in the morning with breakfast, 4 in the afternoon with your lunch, and then 2 with an afternoon snack, but not too close to dinner or nighttime, because it says that the vitamins that are in here, it says do not take within 5 hours of bedtime as it may interfere with your sleep. And we're already screwed up with that, so we're not going to do that. So I typically just do 4 and 4 and tend to forget the afternoon ones, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I need another separate vitamin other than an omega-3 fatty acid. I do take a separate one of those and a separate iron and, like I mentioned earlier, probiotic. Like 3 different types. See which one fits your needs the best. I know Needed has one, but I don't think that theirs had calcium, and I just didn't want to have another tablet to take. So I just stuck with the one that I was already taking. And calcium's really important to me personally because I don't have a thyroid and I don't have parathyroid. Well, I have them, they're just not working. So there's no regulation of calcium in my body. So I have to supplement. So that is why it's so important to me. Choline was another one that was not in my original prenatal. And I was like doing some research and I don't understand why every prenatal doesn't have it. Maybe I'm missing the boat on why. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with too much, but this is genuinely what I've been doing to get through the last 20 something weeks. Tomorrow I'll be 26 weeks. It's so crazy. So, and I've actually pretty much kept up with a lot of this. This I haven't used in a while. The ginger chews I haven't used in a while. But looking at the products in front of me, I'm pretty much still using all of these on a very regular, if not daily basis. Some of the stuff I talked about, I haven't seen in a lot of other videos. So hopefully you find this helpful. If there's anything I missed that you're like, what are you doing? You need to be trying this. Please let me know. I'm open to hearing feedback and trying something else new. I know going into this second half of the pregnancy, I kind of break up pregnancy into like first half, second half in my brain, not necessarily the 3 trimesters. Going into the second half, I'm going to be focusing even more on my nutrition. Because the beginning, I'm like trying to just get by with some soup and some bread, anything that I can get in my body. And now I feel like I kind of get the color of the world in there. I definitely want to start having my dates and my red raspberry leaf tea and all the things to build up iron, nutrient stores in my body going into labor and postpartum. My belief is that if we can support ourselves throughout the pregnancy and immediately after with things like a really great quality prenatal, it doesn't have to be this one if you're not into it. It could be whatever prenatal you feel makes you feel the best and doesn't make you feel sick. If you support yourself now, it makes the postpartum process a lot easier. I say this because with my back-to-back pregnancies, that second one, I just felt absolutely drained on every single level, and I noticed a difference. And this time I feel different. I feel a little brighter, which is really cool. So, rambling. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope to give you some more updates in the future. If there's anything you want to know, leave me some questions so I have a little direction on what you would like to see in upcoming videos. And I'll see another one very soon. Bye.